For extreme skiers and snowboarders, Tuckerman Ravine is a place of steep challenges and dangerous hazards. Like when this snowboarder slid out of control in 2020.
In terms of the skiing that you get into in Tuckerman Ravine, it is by far steeper than any inbound ski terrain on the East Coast. It's very, very steep.
Despite the risks, each year, thrill seekers make the long hike up to experience this glacier-carved snow bowl known affectionately as Tucks.
Kind of the birthplace of extreme skiing in North America. So it's definitely a rite of passage, I'd say, for a lot of folks, kind of aspiring to ski bigger things and ski in the mountains.
Keith Moon has skied Tuckerman countless times. As a guide for the Eastern Mountain Sports Climbing School in North Conway, Moon takes people on all kinds of adventures.
In the summer, I do a lot of rock climbing with people. That's at Cathedral Edge a lot of times, right in North Conway. In the winter, then, we do everything from ice climbing to mountaineering, going up Mount Washington here.
On this day, Keith is guiding us up the main route to the bowl. So we're about to embark on Tuckerman Ravine Trail here, what hundreds, if not thousands of skiers have done. I'm doing it the more traditional way here, just carrying up my plain old skis here on my back. You're going to do what now?
I have alpine touring skis, and that's where I have boots, bindings, and then these climbing skins that allow me to have my skis on my feet as I walk uphill.
Along with videographer Joel Wade, we set out for the 2-hour hike to the Hermit Lake Shelter. So here we are, we're about halfway up the trail. We're heading up to the bowl there at Tuckerman Ravine. It's going to be another hour or so. You can see we've shed some layers. It's getting a little warmer out here, but take a look at this. You can see Wildcat across the way. It gives you an idea of how high up we are and how far we have yet to go. So there's a lot of climbing with a heavy backpack on. On this day, the weather is perfect, and we are hardly alone on the trail. In fact, on a nice weekend in March or April, you could see hundreds of skiers here.
I think it's a bucket list for a lot of people to say they've been up there and done it. A lot of people go up there just to watch the activity that takes place up there.
Ted LaLiberte works here at the Eastern Slope branch of the New England Ski Museum in North Conway.
That is Tuckerman Ravine. That's one of the famous pictures of Tuckerman Ravine.
Tuckerman is a big part of the storied history on display, named for Edward Tuckerman, who studied plants in the White Mountains in the 1800s, before the famous bowl attracted skiers.
Early 20s, people started getting up into the ravine and skiing the ravine.
And in the 1930s, during a series of daring ski races here in the ravine, one man set a record still talked about today.
Tony Matt in 1939 is the first person to ever shush the head wall or came over the head wall from the top. It was in a race called the Inferno. He made it from the summit of Mount Washington to Pinkham Notch in just under 6.5 minutes.
When we reached the Hermit Lake Shelter, we enjoyed a rest on the porch, took in the views, and hit the trail for another 3/4 of a mile into the bowl as my ski gear seemed to get heavier. Alas, after almost 3 hours, we finally made it to the base of the bowl, filled with other skiers. While there are several routes you can ski here, our guide says we're looking for the best sun exposure.
On any given day, we're really trying to pick where the best and safest snow is going to be. So on a day like today, we're often seeking out sunshine to have some softer snow.
We found a good spot to switch into our ski boots, then put the equipment on our backs once again, and started the trickiest part of the hike, slowly heading up to an area known as the sluice. It gets so steep, you can see the snow flying down the slope, and it feels like with every step, you could tumble down. Which I almost did. Eventually, we reached a relatively flat area known as the bench, a welcome relief. Let's just stay right here and not move. Can the helicopter come in?
Yeah. Now all we gotta do is go down this.
This is one of the easier routes, and yet we still couldn't see down the slope. It was so steep.
The easiest run up there is about 40 degrees, which is hard for a lot of people to conceptualize how steep that is. So I like to tell people that most black diamond runs in North America are about 28 degrees, so it's quite a bit steeper.
All that was in my mind as we strapped on the skis.
And you're buckled up nice and snug?
I think so.
How we feel?
The answer was really scared. I slowly made my way over to the run. I could see why people don't want to make the turns. But I finally mustered the confidence to make a turn and started skiing. My hands are shaking right now. It was so steep up there. When they tell you it's like this, it really is, but I made it. I can now say I've skied Tuckerman. But we weren't done. After a short hike back to the shelter, we strapped the skis back on to take the Sherburne Trail all the way to the parking lot, where I could tell tales of skiing the mighty Mount Washington.